This is kind of weird. It wasn't opening up the way it was supposed to, so I had to create a new one. And so I'm not sure how this is going to go. Okay, so, huh? All right. Well, I'll give it a shot anyway. I am live now, but it's not the link that I thought I was. Not the link I thought I had. Okay. So I'm going to have to do the title and that later. I have to set that up later because this is. I just created it new now, and it has the default settings in it. All right. So. Anyhow, here we are, another live live broadcast. It says there's 3 viewers. I don't see them, so I don't know. Okay, is the chat working? Do you know? Like, hi everyone. Okay, yeah, it's there. It's there. Okay. Well, all right. Well, then I'm gonna assume everything is good. Okay. All right. So. So the title for this hangout is Energy Flows Where Attention Goes. I was just on Bitcoin Randy's hangout. I really appreciated what Randy had to say. Just excuse me for a wee bit here. You know, Randy, I appreciate his knowledge into the you know, the things of the elite, and as far as the power of the mind and all of those things. You can tell he's been in books, and he's been, you know, he's done his studying, which is, I believe, is a great thing. Okay, so and the conversation that was in the chat with Randy was just phenomenal. Guys, I just appreciate so much the knowledge and the understanding that you bring to these chats and these hangouts. It's really wonderful to see. We have very understanding people in TBC. It's great. Okay, so with the title, Energy Flows Where Attention Goes. Now, that's probably not the title you see, and that's because I had some technical difficulties trying to get the chat going, or get my live stream going here, and so for some reason it wasn't working, so I had to open up a new one, and I'll just have to do the editing later. So the title isn't what it says on there currently. So I wanted to just remind us about directing our energy correctly, you know, to achieve the success that we want. So, but I'll just kind of incorporate it as we go through, because I have a few things that I want to touch on, actually regarding the blog and so on with TBC. So I have I have quite a bit of understanding about what has some of the input from behind the scenes, as it were, of TBC. And it's amazing what we're going to be experiencing very soon in TBC, that most of us probably don't foresee at this time. And I'll say it this way, that is unless you are a member of the Gemstone University, which Pantera de Oro. If you're a student of Gemstone, then you would then you'll likely know what I mean. If not, then you probably don't. So and I'm not going to say much because that is it is information for Gemstone students only. So that doesn't mean what I'm privileged to say I will still say sometimes, but I'm not going to share any details that are part of the privacy agreement with the, and there's a reason for that agreement, because Pantera de Oro is a private society. Okay, it is a society that is stepping out from the system that we're all in bondage to. It's a we're literally creating a completely separate society that has no bonds to the tech system, to nothing. There's absolutely no bonds to the system, as it were. Okay, now TBC is a standalone currency. Okay, but as a TBC person, I mean, you can be a user of TBC, but you are still bonded to the debt-based system unless you separate yourself from it, which is what Gemstone University is all about, and Pantera de Oro. So I just wanted to mention that. If you want to know more about that, I have the links below. They may not be there now because I haven't edited this, for this video. So if you go there right now, it may not be there. Okay, so all right. So the points that we want to touch on is if you want success with TBC, you need to think of ways to get more people involved, then teach them your techniques for success. Success is kind of one of those things that first of all, to have it, you kind of need to have it in your mind before it shows up. You need to have the right mindset for it. That's really the gist of it. As long as your mindset, sometimes you hear people say that your cup needs to be half full, not half empty. And that's really the difference, guys. That's really where it's at. But all of this stuff goes so deep. There is so much in the mind from so many years ago and so on, that if not corrected, because your mind really actually controls about 95% of your thinking during the day. And that really, you can't really control much about that, as far as how much time you your subconscious mind runs your thinking, your thought system. You can't really control that, except for you can guide and reprogram your subconscious so that when the thoughts do run on autopilot, that you have influenced them correctly so that they produce what you want. And that's really the key. That's really the key. Because energy, as I've mentioned before in other hangouts, it just is. It just is. When it enters your mind, it just is. It's nothing. It isn't positive nor negative. It not it's up to you what you're going to make of it, right? And so if your thoughts run on autopilot for 95% of the time during the day, well, that leaves you very little room to consciously direct your thinking. So how can you bring that under control then? Let's say you're 95% of the day your mind is running on thoughts that you don't really I'll say it this way, that don't produce the feelings of success within you. Remember, your thoughts are basically on autopilot, and yet the thoughts, as they run, they will make you feel either good, they make you feel happy, they'll make you feel miserable, or whatever the case is. Have you ever had it where you woke up and, oh yeah, nice happy day, you're happy and it's all good, and next thing you poured yourself a cup of coffee, and for some reason it slips out of your hand and spills all over the floor. Okay. But all right, so you clean that up and you move on with your day, and next thing you know, something else goes. Maybe you want to go to work and you get in your car and hear the battery's dead. And before you know it, it seems like as if the entire universe is against you. And you just totally turn miserable, because it seems like this morning was great, now everything is wrong. Well, you see, all of that comes from your mind. All of that comes from your mind. Now, if that first morning, if you truly enjoyed that happiness, and then that coffee ends up slipping out of your hand, and you grace that with gratitude, it's a wonderful day, it's all wonderful. If you don't let that catch you at all, it's very likely that will be the end of it. But because you allowed that to kind of offset your feelings, it created another synchronicity, and then another, and then another, and another. Because your energy started going that direction. Okay, so if you want success with TBC, you need to think of ways to get more people involved, then teach them your techniques of success. See, here's the problem that we very easily run into, is that, well, I want to be successful with TBC, but I just can't think of any way to do this. See, you've just handed over your power to Kant. Who is Kant? Kant is the only devil in the universe. And so now you've handed your power over to him. You think that's going to bring you success? Absolutely not. It's going to bring you anything but success. All right, so do research. Sorry, do searches on the blog for the following. Okay, so I put a list of a few things. Do searches on the blog for cookie rewards. You want to know how the cookie reward system works? Do a search on the blog for cookie rewards, and you'll find plenty of information on the blog about cookie rewards. You don't know how to do transactions to get your cookie rewards? Let me see. There is a page that I recently came across. Actually, it's on the internet. It is blog.thebillioncoin.info. And it has this page, this particular website has all of the information on it for how to confirm the transactions on the TBC wallet. It's amazing. They put a website like that together. Okay, so I highly encourage, visit it. I did, and I liked it. It was great. Great information. Okay, so to do migration, again, if you don't know how to go through the steps of migration, if you do a search on the blog, the blog.thebillioncoin.info, you will find the information on how to do migration to the new TBC wallet. To share TBC with new people, you can even find information on that. So if you want to be successful with TBC, and you are trying to think of ways, and it seems like it just doesn't come, instead of giving the power over to can't, go to the blog and type in referring people, or any type of a phrase that would, and find out what information comes up, how to refer, how to get people into TBC, whatever. Again, so for all of these things that are TBC related, questions you might have about it: how does TBC work? What is TBC worth? What is it price based on? You could pick almost any question that you could possibly have that you would like to know about TBC. See, here's what you can do. You can either spend a bit of time and go to the blog on TBC on the blog.thebillioncoin.info and really get all of your questions answered about TBC. Or you could go on Facebook and ask people and see what all you can find that TBC isn't. Because on the blog, you basically only find information that actually is valid, that works, that is information you can use. But if you would rather go and see what kind of you can find for useless information, and as something that will get you off of the path of success that you could have with TBC, go to Facebook. Or follow the steps for success on TBC, success with TBC, with the information on the blog. And then one of the lines here said that to really, to have success, then teach your, referring people, and when you do, then teaching them the steps, your techniques for success. It's quite a technique to come up with, to literally go and find the information you need on the blog. I would say people that do that take that step, they are pretty smart. They're pretty smart, because the blog gives us the information all about TBC, why it was created, what it stands for, how it can help you, how to make money with it, how to refer people or share it or whatever, how to go about the technical things, like migrating, claiming your cookie rewards, confirm transactions, and how the cookie reward program works. All of it. All of it. Now, let me just recite the title again. Energy flows where attention goes. Where does your attention go? What are you? How much are you directing your thinking? How much are you directing the energy? Because energy is constantly generated in your vortex. Constantly, every waking moment, as you are thinking, you are constantly sending out the signals, and they will depend. Your feelings, they let you know what it is you're sending out. See, here's a good thing, a good place where you can gauge yourself. Like, let's say, let's take that scenario that I created a little earlier, where your day begins going bad. As soon as you realize that something is irritating you, then you have the wonderful privilege of retracing your thoughts, just thinking about what was my train of thought for the last while. What was I thinking about? Because whatever it was created my present feelings. You see, that now you have a gauge to go by that lets you know when your feelings are off, because when your thoughts are off, because your feelings let you know. So when you're feeling like you're basically paralyzed about when it comes to talking to people, or getting other people involved or whatever, well then now you can correct that thinking. Instead of putting your energy, handing your power over to can't, well, you can start looking for information of how to accomplish what you want. Because as long as you are hung up on the idea of that you can't, you're going to remain paralyzed as far as making any advance is concerned. Because that's exactly what can't does. It basically paralyzes you from moving forward. Okay. So we know that we all want to be successful. Now, success, of course, I realize that success is a very, very broad scope, as it were, because to me, success probably means something very different than it does for you, or depending, of course, on what you want to be successful in. Because success in itself, you could have many successes in one day, many of them, and still have and still not get far in life, because with all the successes in one day, you might still have more can'ts than otherwise, right? Or than what you had successes. So but my point is this. That as you think, your thoughts create your feelings. Your feelings let you know where you are. And this is the mechanism. That's basically, should we say, the GPS system that will let you know if you are on track or not. Because as you are completely confident that you are making the advances that you want, and you are at peace with yourself, all is good, and that you have the success that you desire, then you're successful. You're successful. And whatever, and if, as long as you keep your mind open and you keep on the ball to to be willing to do the actions that it takes, uh, the actions that you're guided to take by your hunch, your subconscious mind, then you are definitely you're a successful person. And as to whether uh, as much money has showed up today as you want, well, that is where you have to be patient. You need to be patient, because it's more important to have the feelings of success and happiness than to be worried about the money that you thought you would make today and didn't. Okay, so as soon as you start feeling about kind of discouraged about not having made as much as you expected or thought you would, or whatever, you're starting to limit yourself. And you keep on that path, pretty soon you're going to hand the power over to Kant. Okay, so all right, so with these thoughts shared, I think I'm going to close it off. Are there any questions? No? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for hanging out with me here. I appreciate it. I hope I have brought you something that you can use, and at the very least some inspiration. And so my title tonight at 9 is going to be ways of turning water into wine. So I'm kind of excited about that title. It is a title that I actually haven't tackled before, so hopefully it'll be enjoyable. Okay, so thank you very much, and for hanging out with me. And so we'll see you tonight or tomorrow again, and peace.